Hey guys, welcome back to Avo Lighting Training. We're training today on the record button, recording in general, how all that works, the nuances, the quirks, the features of Avolites Titan, and how you do that on different consoles and all that. So let's get into it. So first things first, I hope that you've watched the programmer video. On the programmer video, you can see generally how all this works and why the programmer is integral to recording. So everything that we put into the programmer is how we record stuff. So I'm assuming that you've already watched that. I'm going to be using a lot of the lingo and the terminology from that video. So let's get into recording in itself. Let's say that you already know what the programmer is, you already know what all the things do, and I'm just going to mention them as such. Okay, so I'm going to move into the bottom left corner here and show you my screen. So we just have some general stuff going on. I can locate all my lights. We can see everything there. So I'm going to make just like a general look. I'm going to grab all stage fixtures. I'm going to locate them. Like I said in the programmer video, this doesn't put anything in your programmer. It's just a good place to start so we can see all of our lights. So first things first, I'm going to turn all their dimmers on to 100 so we can see it lights up blue there. I'm going to give them all blue. Maybe I want the force profiles to be white or CTO. Let's go with that. And then the LED tape to be like cyan instead. So we've got a look here. Let's give the force profiles like some gobo-y things to do, some zoom things. Yeah, I like that one, and we'll have it spin so you can see it spin. Well, it doesn't appear to be spinning very well on there. You have to make it go really fast on here. I'm telling you, in real life, if you set your spin counterclockwise to 51%, it's gonna look like it's flying. In the computer program, it doesn't do that. So I'm just doing this for the visual sake. And then let's say beam is zoomed out like that, and focus also doesn't really do anything in the program, and we'll set the prism to way wide. So now we've got like one look of a song. And we'll also set their position to be like that. Cool. And the R2s, maybe their position is like fanned out and low like that. I like that. That's cool. So our record button on the online, the Titan Go interface is right up here in the top right corner on all of our blue buttons. On your different consoles, there's always going to be a set of buttons, and I'll flash some of these pictures up right here. Let's just say this is the Titan Mobile. It's right here. If you have a Tiger Touch, it's right here. And if you have the Sapphire at Pell, it's right here. I'm referencing all these things as if you're going to Faith Promise. However, this acts well for everybody who could be programming on an Avo console. There's always a record button. It's always near the copy, move, delete buttons. So look for that. And so in this case, the record button is right here. So if I hit record, you see all my open handles are going to be flashing. The Q button's flashing. Your view, locate, all those are flashing. That lets you know that you're like in a record mode. There's different types of recording that we can do. We can create a memory, which is just like a static look. You use these for like washes, or maybe you have like a hosting look that you just pull up, that kind of thing. A chase is like a repeated number of moves. We don't really use those at Faith Promise, so I'm not going to really be going into depth on that. We do use cue lists. This is what we use for songs. Essentially, it's like a collection of memories that we can add to. I'll have like an in-depth on how to get into the nuances of a cue list, but I'll show you how to create one here in Timeline. I'll also show you that even though we don't really use it a ton. So let's just create a memory. So I've selected create memory, and then right here, I'm just gonna click a blue button or click a soft handle, and that will put that right there. So if I hit clear, and then I pull this up, you can see that that comes up when I pull it up. So there we go. We have a memory or a cue. There's multiple different ways to call it. but this is just like a single fader thing. You pull it up, you pull it down. This is also how you would like make a wash. I don't know why my wash is all the way over there, but you can see it. So when you pull it up, it comes up, you pull it down, it goes away. And then, so just like that, right there. Okay. And then let's say we want to make a cue list now. The first thing you can do is you can record and create a cue list and add it. Cue lists work a little differently, like where you have to create it and then put something into it. So if I pull this up, nothing's going to happen because I don't have anything in it. I'm going to use the include button. We might not have talked about this yet. There will be a video in the future on what the include button does, but essentially it just grabs everything that we just made from this previous cue. I just hit include and clicked on cue 33. Now I'm going to, I have the cue list 34 pulled up right here. Get rid of that. If I hit record, it says add right here. So I can either click on this and hit a pinned cue over on the right, or if I back up here and hit record again, I can just click to add it here. So there's the cue. So there's one way of adding a cue to a cue list, or we can click down here on the blue button or the soft key and hit a pinned cue. That's the second way. The third way of adding a cue, I'm just going to record it, is double clicking the blue button. So like that, it pins a cue essentially. All three ways are equally as viable of doing it. It's just whatever like benefits your workflow the best. I typically am a record and click on the cue window here, the playback view window. That's just how I learned to do it. That's what I do. Sometimes when I'm going fast, I'll click that blue button and make it go faster. But now we can see if we refire this, hit go, pulls up. Now there's no fade times on here because I have not configured any part of this yet. So if I went in and I could select all of those and then add a 5-second fade time. Now when I pull it up, that's the other thing. There are multiple different things that you'd have to change about a cue list in the options. Again, I will have a whole video on this, but essentially the main thing is making sure the intensity kills at 0 when it's on a fader. This is how we use it for songs. So when I pull it up and pull it back down, it's gonna kill when I hit the 0 of the fader. That's a little bit over your head, so sorry, but you do need to know it. So when I hit go now that I've added a fade time in, it's gonna fade. So that's essentially how we make songs. I made a very quick song, just 3 cues, nothing's going on in it, but we can edit that and we're off to the races at this point in time. And then let's go look at the other versions of record. If I hit create a chase, it looks similar to a cue list. So a chase has different cues in it, and then you would add that, and then when you pull it up, when we pull it up, it would do something. And it would continue at a certain BPM. Some people like to use that. I, however, do not. If you're looking for a video on chases, let me know and I'll make it. And then the other thing we'll look at is timeline. Timeline is like good for time-coded shows. So let's just do this real quick. So a timeline is this. It's like where you, it records everything that you do on a console. It's great for time coding. So per se, you wanted the wash to come up at a certain point in time and all that's linked. Time coding is very complicated. We can get into it in a future video, but just know like this is what it does. So if I hit record and play. So now when I pull this up, you can see the wash coming up and goes down. I'm going to pull the cue list up, hit go. Bam, I'm going to release that. And then I'm going to pull this up one more time and back down. And we're going to stop that recording, stop there. Bam. And we'll go back and we'll just hit play on that. And it should replay everything just as I did it. Normally it shows underneath the tracks like what is actually happening, and you can edit times. I don't know why it's specifically doing that not doing that right now, but just know that is what it's doing. And if you have motorized faders on the Sapphire Touch or a D9, it will do that for you. It'll pull the faders up and all that. It's really cool. But on other consoles, it will just like show you the faders moving up on the sides here. Whoops, not like that. Stop. On the side, it'll show you moving up and show that playback is pulling up and pulling down. The one other thing I wanted to mention, there's different record modes. I am just going to go literally to the Avolites website. Avolites Manual Titan Recording. So I love referencing the manual because I'm weird like that. But the easiest thing to do, oh, that's a video, creating a cue. So there are different record modes, and this will show you essentially what they do right here. Better than I can explain it. Record channel only records the modified attributes. So like, remember on the blue down here, like when we're in our program, let's capture, design with capture view. Okay. Okay. So if I like grab, oops, back up. I grab this and I set the pan away over here, that lights up blue. That's showing like what has changed. It's great for like on the fly programming, like, oh, I want to see this in the midst of everything else I'm doing. That will record that, just that one pan position and nothing else that's gone on at the moment. So only modified attributes. Record stage records fixtures with a non-zero dimmer value channel are saved. So that means like all of the fixtures that are on, or all the fixtures that you've located, anything that you've changed or even haven't changed, like your locate position, it will record that. And sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you don't want those values recorded. That's why I record in channel always. But maybe you're a little bit, you need to go a little bit quicker on your recording, and record stage is a great way to do that. Quick build, if we look here, quick build allows you to build a queue, chase, or queue list from existing playbacks or palettes. You can also use the include function to do this. So when I was using the include button, very similar to that. This just is like a built-in recording mode that does that. I don't use this. I like to tell it when I want to record it with include, but that's just a different way of doing it. So those are the record modes. I would highly suggest staying on channel. So record mode channel right there. And then there's also fixture. I would suggest not using fixture. It's just any fixture that you've touched, not any fixture that's on, that's record mode stage. Any fixture that you've touched, it will record any values that it has. So also beneficial, but not really. So it just depends on what you're doing. For our purposes here at Faith Promise, I suggest record mode channel, and then recording with just memories and queue list. Those are just the easiest to modify and the easiest to use. So that's been recording. In this video, there's different sections. So if you want to come back to it or watch a specific section on a specific topic, please do that. Like, use this as a resource for your learning and for your continual learning, hands-on learning. Please do it in that way. If you have any questions, please contact me through the YouTube. It's all good. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So this is Avo Training. And if you have any questions, please let me know.